The Tale of the Two Eagles, published by Morning with Golf, on June 18, 2021.
The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Leonardo da Vinci. On a sunny and heated morning, the sun shone in full glory and the month of June was at its full swing. So were we. I had challenged my sons to a round of golf since we happened to be in the capital city at the same time. Margalla Greens Golf and Country Club sits in the lap of famous Margalla Hills. It's graciously scenic and breathtaking. Golf here includes the added privilege of hiking. Both of them were in beautiful gears and equally enthusiastic. We took off with glamorous drives and glaring smiles. I was overwhelmed since I was in the company of two Roll of Honor students. They are no less golfers. One of them was runner-up at the Quaid-e-Azam Juniors tournament last year. What else one could ask for? Magnetic Margalla greens, magnificent views of Faisal Mosque, majestic crew, music by Weekend, an arsenal of sim by TaylorMade, soothing Ray-Ban shades, Pro V1S balls and expert caddies. We stole the hour and style envied us. Pars, bogeys, and doubles began to pour from zealous shots and concentrated putts. At the second hole, a par 3, my youngest son Qadir, who otherwise is the tallest, made a birdie. What a shot and putting it was. P-wood on par 3, 116 yards. Siram and I made bogeys. Siram was playing for the first time on this tricky course. He played exceptionally well despite the lack of orientation with the courses on hills. Hole 3 is a par 5, 521 yards, 15 HCP. I tried to stay within the fairway even if I had to compromise on distance. Usually happy with bogeys. So I tried to maintain the pace. Both of them scored pars while I made bogey. Boy. They strode that hole quite picturesquely and concluded exquisitely. Their putting resembled the first time kissing in a classroom. We proceeded to next par 3 for further display of our swings in a dire competitive disposition. In a completely revengeful mood I made a par there whereas both of them ended up with bogeys. The next hole is par 4 HCP 5 and 409 years I made a par, further consolidating my position in this father and son trio. Siram made a bogey while Qadir made a double. Sixth is 341 years, HCP 1. The tee is wildly elevated and located in the ribs of Margalla Hills. Stairs would take their toll before you pin your tee to the ground. One can see most of the fairways from here. In the torso of the hills, the magnificent Faisal Mosque on the left pompously exhibits a unique design of a mighty Bedouin tent, surrounded by the sky-cathing minarets of white marble. I took the lead, since it was my honor, and hit a flying saucer towards the middle of the edge of the fairway short of the OB. While Siram sprung a blaster that dimmed the distance of my shot, and landed at the perfect spot. Then came Qadir, keeping in view our shots. He hit over the long stretch of bordering trees. Flying over them his balls dropped on the edge of the green and began to taxi towards the pin, as our caddies described it. It stopped short of pin again, barely escaping hole in one. Most of us have been trying to take that route only to earn OBs in the adjacent fairway. In professional style he earnestly engineered that shot to its perfection. It was a grand eagle. What a moment of pride. How can Dad resist bragging at times like that? It was one of those moments when golf touches one's soul. My heart jumped in joy and my mind thought of nothing but gratitude. Siram and I made bogeys on that hole, yet both of us celebrated his eagle proudly. Next hole was all a breath-shortening climb. It's no joke to reach the green.
Very nice. Great eagle. Excellent eagle. Very nice.
I call the last 3 holes of the front 9, mountaineering. The green is at 2,936 feet above the sea level. After the even lie, nothing is more favorable than the uphill lie. It acts like a launching pad to lift the ball into the sky. The only problem is that the ball doesn't roll much. Sometimes it begins to roll backwards. We stepped on the green panting and got wet in sweat. Man, I am glad mine was the closest to the pin so I could catch my breath before putting it on. Only Qadir made a bogey while Siram and I made doubles. There's a midway hut at this point of the course. Nothing is more soothing than a stop for some refreshment at this stage of the round. The scenes at this spot are truly satisfying. We had cold drinks and some snacks. A bit rested, still firm, we disembarked towards T8. It descends and again ascends. A small fig orchid adds a unique fragrance to stride on this fairway. It is a par 4 HCP 7 and 341 yards. In the beginning it is a steep walk to lush green valley-like fairway, then again a sharp hike to an astounding tee. Qadir again took a straight aerial route to drop directly at the green. That landed on the slope a few yards to the green and concluded with a bogey. Sairam reached the top in a third shot and made 3 putts. After an average driver shot I began to descend, with a heavy heart. Hit a second shot that initially faded to hit a big stone on the edge of the creek. To our surprise the ball bounced from the stone and took a flight to the green. That swaying ball eventually found the hole on the 8th hole, thus awarding me my first eagle. That eagle brought me to the top of the scorecard. After the celebration of that eagle we headed towards the 9th tee. In excitement I messed up that hole and made a triple bogey there. Qadir and Sairam earned bogeys. Qadir ended up 40, Sairam 47 and I made 43. My Moss adventure at the 9 threw in the opportunity to defeat Mr. Qadir that the auspicious stone provided me. The story of the 2 eagles will live on forever. And golf with 2 suns is not an ordinary affair. I would love to do it again. Know, son, that everything in the universe is a pitcher brimming with wisdom and beauty. The universe is a drop of the tigers of his beauty. This beauty was a hidden treasure so full it burst open and made the earth more radiant than the heavens. Rumi credits Google Margala Greens GCC. Asan Jamil golfer, blogger, entrepreneur, author, poet, wanderer, photographer, rebel. Email, golfi@gmail.com. Website, golfi.com. YouTube, Morning with Golf.